I'm a Japanese translator, and sometimes people ask me if I read the subtitles when I watch anime. The short answer is yes, but if you want to know more about why I do that, stay tuned.
Okay, hi. So I originally made this video in the year 2018, and it is now the year 2023, and my opinions have changed a little bit, so I thought I would sort of react to my old video. Look at all the manga I used to own before I sold them for rent money. I miss them. Ooh, listen to that important sounding introduction music.
So the first reason that I read subtitles when I watch anime is it's really hard not to when they're there. I don't know if you've noticed this about like closed captioned English things, but it's also the case with me. If there's closed captioning, I kind of can't help but read it just because it's there. I don't need to, but it's there, so I read it.
Okay, so this point is somewhat moot because when I first made this video, I didn't realize that you can often turn off the subtitles. But yeah, now that I know you can just turn off the subtitles, if I want to just turn off my brain and sit down and just enjoy an anime without really thinking about the mechanics of how it's translated or anything, I will just turn off the subtitles and just watch it in Japanese and just enjoy it in Japanese. So this point is somewhat moot now because I know that I can turn off the subtitles. But if I am watching subtitled anime, maybe because I'm watching it with somebody else and they need the subtitles, the point still holds.
The second reason I read subtitles is that sometimes, like depending on the subject matter of the anime, sometimes there will be a word here or there that I just won't catch. Like a character will be speaking too quickly or mumbling or have a very weird voice when they're talking, or I just won't catch something. And this is also true of things that are like in English. Sometimes, like if it's really sci-fi or something, I miss things. Sometimes I don't catch things and I actually kind of appreciate the closed captions.
So in conclusion, you're both equally mercurial, overly sensitive, clingy, hysterical bird brain homunculi.
Yeah, just to elaborate on this point, this is still somewhat true. Like if I'm watching a sci-fi anime or a wartime anime or just some kind of anime that talks on subject matter that I'm just not as familiar with in Japanese, I will opt to watch it with the English subtitles. Part of that is if I'm watching something in English and I don't understand a word here or there, I'll kind of know why I don't understand the word here or there. It's usually because it's just a word that I don't know, like conceptually. Like if it's some complicated scientific word, I might not understand it just because I don't understand the underlying concept. If it's a Japanese word that I don't understand, I don't actually know if it's because it's a concept I don't understand or if it's just a Japanese word that I don't understand. So my brain can't make as many conclusions with the information I'm given. So that's yet another reason why I go ahead and turn on the subtitles if it is a subject that I feel I'm just not that well versed in, even in English.
So it can actually be pretty helpful in that regard. The third reason that I read subtitles, and this is actually the second biggest reason. The first biggest reason is I read them because they're there. And the second biggest reason why I read subtitles is because I like to see how other translators translate anime. Sometimes it gives me some ideas of like how better to translate certain phrases or expressions or slang or things like that. And if it's for a particular like company, I also want to be aware of what their preferred style is, and I can do that by reading the subtitles of anime that they've already produced.
Yeah, so this is still true. Again, it's like, if I want to just relax and enjoy anime, I will usually opt to turn off the subtitles so that I do not do this, because if the subtitles are on, it's like my translator brain turns on and I just watch the anime and read the subtitles so that I can learn, ooh, how did this translator do it? Ooh, that's a good idea. You know, I'll have that added layer of enjoyment to the anime, but it's not always an added layer of enjoyment that I want. Sometimes I just, like I said, I just want to turn off my brain and just enjoy the anime as just a person watching anime and not like as a translator analyzing and breaking down how somebody else translated something and how I might do it differently. It just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. If I'm in a, translator brain mood and I want to see how somebody else translated something, then I'll use the subtitles. And if I just want to turn off my brain and enjoy anime, I'll turn them off.
Now there's some cool things about reading subtitles while also understanding it in original Japanese, because I do listen to it and understand it in Japanese while I'm reading the subtitles. It's kind of a mind screw, but it's really interesting and I kind of can't help but do it again because the subtitles are there, so I'm gonna read them. But one really cool thing about it is the Japanese language will often, sometimes you'll have a sentence, it'll be a logical progression of things like A and then B, right? But in Japanese, oftentimes it's the other way around. Like they will put B in the A position and vice versa. It'll seem backwards to us, but that's only because that's the way we think about language. So oftentimes you'll have a character saying one of those A, B sentence things, and the translator will rightfully put that B part of the sentence first. What originally came at the end of the sentence in Japanese, they'll put it first. And then, meanwhile, I'll be reading that in English while listening to the other part of the sentence in Japanese in real time. So I will already know just from that first half of the sentence by reading essentially what the second half of the sentence is going to be, and then listening to the first half of the sentence in Japanese, I can already know what that character is going to say without waiting for the character to say the whole thing. Another neat thing about reading subtitles is noticing all the mistakes.
Okay, I feel the need, after doing this for several years, I know that like anytime I say anything remotely bad about the quality of translations, like it's an opportunity for trolls to jump on that and be like, the translators suck. Here's some proof. So I have to clarify, I very rarely see like straight up mistranslations in anime subtitles. It's usually just like, in my opinion, less than optimal word choices and stuff like that, which doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong. So yeah, I just felt the need to clarify that in post. I mean, I do say so even in the original video that most of the mistakes like aren't even that big and they don't generally affect the plot. This is also true.
I mean, we all make mistakes. We're human. I've made mistakes in my translations, but it is, I guess, comforting in a way, looking at other people's professional translations and being like, oh, that was wrong, or oh, I would have done that differently. But yeah, I sometimes do notice blatant mistakes in translations of subtitled anime, and they're few and far between. So I'm not saying that translations of anime professionally done are bad, because I mean, I'm one of those translators and I don't want to say that I'm bad. But yes, they're not quite perfect. And again, this is why I'm a huge proponent for, as much as I think it's cool that we have simulcast anime and that we can watch anime like the instant it comes out in Japan, I still feel like you get a better product overall if you wait until the entire series is released and then do a more careful translation. Just my opinion.
I still believe this. I know it's never going to happen. I know there are many reasons why the simulcast model is the thing. Like if companies did not do simulcast, that would just open the door for pirates to just, and fan subs to take over again, because the fans have just grown accustomed. They've been conditioned to expect the new anime like the very day it's released. Like kids, back in my day, we had to wait several months, if not years, for like the next volume of anime. So like I understand how it's like older people are more willing to wait a little longer for things to come out. But honestly, like the quality of your anime will be better if it's released later. Thankfully, when things are released on DVD and Blu-ray, often they do make little changes here and there and like corrections, and like they make things a little bit better for the DVD Blu-ray release. So if you really care about a series, like buy it on DVD Blu-ray because it will be slightly better.
So if you're fluent in the language, do you read subtitles when you watch movies?
Okay, this was back when I thought I had to do snappy outros. Anyway, those are my updated thoughts on why I read subtitles in anime. Thank you to my patrons for helping me continue to do this channel for over 7 years now in some iteration. I especially like to thank Tony Hoyt, Matt Mack, Brent, Velos, Roel, Cody Spence, Alexei, Lay, Jacob Bell, Greg, Henry Roaming, and Data Fox.